All right, teachers, today our professional development is a special one just for the high school history and English teachers. Today we're talking about independent studies. And this is an independent study that the high school students can opt into. It is called Collaborative EdTech for our gifted students. Why do we need to do this kind of collaborative work and add something new to our curriculum? I think it's really easy for us in our particular model of doing education to see the benefits of how personalized and how specialized our model is. The teachers working with the parents. We give a lot of individual attention that helps struggling students, those with low-key learning disabilities who really need that kind of support. But oftentimes our exceptional students, our gifted students, are a little bored in the standard classes and they need ways to challenge themselves. So one of the solutions is exactly what I'm talking about today. It's passion-focused learning. Passion-focused learning can help us to bridge that gap, and it can prepare those students for their futures. It can prepare them to do the equivalent of what some schools might call a senior thesis. And in some settings, it's called a passion project. And in some settings, it's called an independent study. Humanities teachers, why you? Why am I picking on you to do this? Basically because I myself was a high school English teacher and a middle school history teacher, and I know that my fellow humanities teachers are lifelong learners. And so I thought it was a great place to start, training first the humanities teachers, the history and lit teachers, to facilitate these collaborative independent study projects with students. It makes sense to me, and I hope it makes sense to you because you already want these exceptional and gifted students to succeed. All right, what are our goals? We have two goals right now. One is that by the start of the 2025 to 2026 school year, by the start of next year, August, all of our high school history and literature teachers are going to feel comfortable using a new EdTech, a new educational technology for collaboration with students and for project management. And a second goal is that by the end of the 2025 to 2026 school year, 10% of our juniors and seniors will have signed up for and completed a one-semester independent study passion project with one of you, one of the humanities teachers. This is the educational technology that we're going to use. It's called Padlet. Padlet is awesome. I've used it. I've really enjoyed it. It's kind of like a collaborative whiteboard in some sense, but it has a lot of capacity. It's going to simplify your in-person meetings. You're not going to have to do in-person meetings all the time, once every 2 weeks. And it's going to simplify those meetings because it will create opportunities for at-home collaboration where the student can work at home, but you, when you check in, you can see the post and you can even give quick responses. You can give little bits of encouragement. You can make a joke. You can basically facilitate that learning to encourage them to keep going so that when you do have your meetups every 2 weeks, the meetings with the students are going to be more creative and more productive. Padlet is a digital version of what you might have done when you were young, a poster board with post-it notes. They can be moved around. So it's a digital version of this, except you can post a lot more than just words on these boards. You can embed videos, you can embed charts, you can embed graphics. So there's two things that we can do with Padlet, or two main things that we can do with Padlet. And the first is digital storytelling. So when you're using Padlet, you can inspire learning with juniors and seniors that you're working with using this computer-based digital tools that are going to help the students to create narratives. They can take their time, they can move around ideas until they find a theme, a narrative that weaves its way through that. And as a English teacher, you might call it writing a thesis, developing your thesis. But with digital storytelling, we can just tell them that we're telling a story. We're drawing a narrative line through their learning with these digital tools. There's so much that can be part of this storytelling. It can be text, words, the traditional way that we tell stories, but it can also be images. It could be clips of audio. It could be video clips. Music can be embedded. There's lots of other interactive elements like polls or other things that you can do. So you, the teacher mentor, and the student can go back and forth with these. And if you find something you think is fabulous, you can also post it on there to continue to inspire their learning. The second thing that we can do with Padlet is Kanban style visual project management. So we can basically have a platform that also allows us to have something that's like moving Post-it notes around with these three main categories, which is the ones that are typically used for project management. We post what is to do, what are we doing, what is done. And when things move from the to-do category into the doing category, we see movement there. When they move from the doing to the done, then again, there's movement. And it encourages students to stay on track because of that. All right, I wanted to show you as an example some of the things that can be done. This is inside of Padlet. There are so many different ways that you can organize this, from storybooks and Venn diagrams, reading reflections. I wanted to show you this before I show you the one that I had created as a sample for you. So lots and lots of examples in here. It's very easy, very intuitive to do this. So I have created a quick Padlet to start some digital storytelling about famous speeches in Macbeth. So in my idea, this would be a student's work, but the teacher would be working with them, and the student would have narrowed down, you can see over here on the project management side, the things that are done is that the student identified which Shakespeare play she wanted to use. She found a focus that she wants to focus on speeches, and she identified some major content. So she found the main speeches that she wants to use. She's in the middle of doing some quote analysis. She's looking around for the best video versions of these clips, and she's starting to work on highlighting the themes that are in these particular quotes and soliloquies. And then still to do is a really big part of the project, brainstorming the multimodal project. How is the digital storytelling going to happen? And because there's a end of first quarter thesis summary that has to be done, which is going to be a video presentation, she's already thinking about how she's going to do that and what are the best presentation modes. Now over here with some of the different quotes, you can see that she's been working on some analysis themes. The teacher and she have been going back and forth. She's found some pictures that really kind of spoke to her about what it means that life is a tale told by an idiot, an out brief candle. And then she linked the full speech of Macbeth when he visualized a dagger in front of him, has identified themes, and even linked in one of her favorite videos of that particular quote. And then the Lady Macbeth, the spot when she couldn't stop washing her hands and she was sleepwalking. Here, the students created a poll that she's going to know. I think the teacher created that poll, and she's trying to inspire the student to think differently about that. And then here's one of the images, very traditional image. Okay. So, um, to finish up with the training, there are some outstanding questions I'm sure you have, which is, first of all, am I going to get paid to do this besides my normal teaching stipend? And is this going to be too much work for me? So, first on the payment thing, yes, this is an elective course. The parents are going to pay extra for it, and you will earn a stipend for the extra work you're doing. But on the extra work, I dare say you are going to love discovering and figuring out how to use Padlet. It's going to be really easy to use, and it's going to improve your own classroom teaching. This is going to be a win-win for you because once you learn a new EdTech like this, you're going to find that you have a brand new tool, which I really think will inspire your own learning. Do you have questions about this? Please bring your questions to your tech coach and to your building administrator, and get ready to be part of this amazing multimodal collaborative work we're going to do together. Thank you so much for paying attention during this training. And I just want to remind you that innovators are the happiest teachers. Thank you.